All right, welcome back. This is another episode of Off Topic for Size 10. I am Nick Scalzone at Nick Scalzone Comedy on Instagram.
And I'm Bjorn RG at Skate Cub on Instagram.
What are we talking about, Bjorn?
We're going to talk about, I think the general consensus is it's a treadmill theory, which is basically like, it's like, what's a thing that, so first we'll talk about maybe like a thing that you didn't think you were going to use a lot that you bought. Mm-hmm. And then there's like the thing that you thought you were going to use like a ton, and then you just like either never used it or like maybe used it.
Let me throw you a little more backstory too when we
Let's
talk about treadmill theory, because this is something that I realized like a couple years ago. Because when I was a kid, my dad bought a treadmill, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna run on the treadmill." Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, as most of the listeners who have had treadmills when they were children or adults know, it becomes the most expensive laundry drying device you ever have in your life.
That you have to make payments on.
So I think I'm going to add one more kind of caveat to what you were saying. Yes, it's like I want to talk a little bit about like things you buy that you don't expect to use a lot, but then you do, or vice versa. And then the last one is like, because I've talked about this a lot. I say it to people when they're like, "Oh, I want to do this thing. I need to buy this thing first."
I've had this conversation with you many times.
You've had it with me a lot of times.
I appreciate both of you for like being able to like not be offended when like if I mention this, because I'm like, yo, you're treadmill theorying. Like if you want to do it, go do it.
Right.
You don't need to buy something to facilitate you doing it. So we were talking beforehand. We were talking about like gym equipment. I think any type of like exercise seems like it firmly is in this category where it's like aspirational. Like I know I'm going to buy that weight set, and then I'm going to pump iron. I've never exercised at home before, ever in my life, or maybe just exercised ever in my life. Mm-hmm. But I know the secret is buying the late-night TV ad equipment. Is there anything, and this is a safe space, you guys can be vulnerable. I will say for me, like I have an embroidery machine that I spent a lot. I spent $5,000 on it, right?
Yeah.
For a while, it was the most expensive thing that I owned. Mm-hmm. And arguably it still is. And
it's like worth more than your car that you're driving to work.
It's worth more than my car, my motorcycle, like everything. And it was because I was like, oh, I want to make patches. Well, I can do it like this. And I just like, it was the only thing I ever financed. They made it very easy to say yes.
Totally.
And it was like 0% financing, the whole nine. And I just like, it's unfortunate because now I look at it, I'm like, I should sell this thing and get it out of my life. Because I have guilt about not using it.
Totally.
And then also the mistake was I told people about it. So people are like, oh, you do embroidery? Yeah, I got something I want you to do. And I'm like, I don't know how to use the machine that well. Like, yeah. I'm so sorry. I never manifested the future that I thought I would have with it. Do y'all have anything that's kind of like in that vein?
Yes.
What is
it?
Not
Not for that much money, but I have something called a layout blind that I got for waterfowl hunting.
Okay, so I was like, that's a hunting thing.
It is definitely. Here's the thing: when I was in high school, I was really into duck hunting.
Yeah,
I still would be if I lived in Dillon, Montana. Duck hunting is the shit. It's a lot of fun.
I really want it. We should do a size
we gotta
10,
go at some point.
Remote episode or something shit from like a duck blind.
Dude, yeah, we should. I do have my shotgun here still. We could probably try to find some ducks. Anyway, what a laydown blind is, or a layout blind. It's kind of ideal for hunting in a field. Mm-hmm. So it's better for like goose hunting or for duck hunting in a field, which is not what I did. I used it like twice. There was like an area where you could lay down, like you could put it next to a lake.
Yeah.
And it was all right. Killed a few birds, but it wasn't like the best spot.
Uh-huh.
But I have this thing. It was like $200. My dad bought it for me for Christmas. He has a Cabela's credit card, so he used some of his points and got it for me.
There you go.
It's
Smart
sweet.
shopper.
Basically what it is it's a thing where you're kind of like it's like you're on one of those pool chairs, you know, that's like, you're like very much reclined. And then it's like a camo canvas box with like saloon doors right in front of you.
Okay.
And so you're fully camoed in this thing. You maybe face paint up a little bit. So you're like laying at this angle looking up like that, you know, with your shotgun pointing out like that.
It's a floaty though?
No. It sits on the ground.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. It's kind of meant
it's
for
a
like
coffin. You're describing a coffin.
Precisely. It's like for being in a wheat field or a cornfield. It is pretty much just a coffin. Yeah. It's for like hunting a wheat field or a cornfield, and you'd set your decoys up all around you.
Yeah.
You'd be blowing a goose call, and then when the birds come in and they're almost about to land, you open up the saloon doors and you
Shut
set
the
up.
fuck up! You like what's the movie called? Desperado.
Yeah.
Mariachi. Like
Yeah, mariachi.
You're like Robert Rodriguez out of this thing.
Oh, it's fucking fun,
just
dude.
to like brutalize foul.
Do you
yeah, to blast
I
birds
feel
out of
like
the
I
air
would-
with a shotgun. It's
I would
fantastic.
fall asleep.
Good, clean
I would
American
be falling
fun.
asleep and there'd
I
be
did,
birds
yeah,
all
it's
around
comfy as
me.
shit. You're
My
doing
main
that in the
question is,
sun. The sun's in your face.
Are you
Lovely.
required to wear a priest outfit when you do this, or is that optional?
No, I generally would wear camouflage waders,
Mm-hmm.
neoprene waders, and as many layers as I could because it was January and I just walked into a lake.
I think this is. Do you guys remember when like clowns were just showing up everywhere? Like people were like being followed by clowns,
Yeah.
and like we never got to the bottom of it. We never found out like, oh, there's a weird
Oh
bulletin
yeah,
board or something.
that was like a year there were like clowns. I do
yeah,
remember that. That
it was just
wacky
like
shit.
some weird shit. Like this is like
I bet gun ownership went up that year.
could be well because some of them had knives and shit. It was weird.
I'd be carrying.
If I was one of those clowns, I'd get one of these things, and that would be my entrance. Is just like me.
People would think you were a weird shaped rock, and then you would just sit up out of this.
And then suddenly the cellar doors explode open, and out jumps Bozo. Like
Scarier Amazon package delivery guy.
I think I had this hair at the time, so we're not far off.
Oh,
I did jump
Oh
out of
my
a camo
God.
coffin. Yeah,
I love it.
They're just
but
like,
you said 200.
surprise.
a couple $100, and it was one of those things where it was like it was so cool when I did use it.
Yeah.
But the type of hunting and the places I hunted, I almost never had a use for it.
I always get it stuck, and this is I made a joke about this ages ago about calculating the price of each bite of a sandwich when it's
Yeah.
too expensive. These things to me, I like do the mental math, and I'm like, I paid $50 every time I've used it. Like, and that
Yeah.
really. I'm
No,
a
it was
cheapskate,
like
it fucks with me.
$100 a day that
Yeah.
I've used this thing.
Bjorn, do you got anything?
I have a thing that I've put into a cart online so many times.
Okay, what is it?
It's I haven't actually purchased it, but this makes
I
me
want you to get it now.
This makes me
Well, I was gonna say we might tip the scale this evening.
Okay, it's a rooftop tent. God,
yeah,
I
we
want
talked
one
about this.
so
Oh, a
goddamn
rooftop
bad.
tent
But
for
I
your
know
truck.
I'm going to use it for like 10. I'm going to use it like 4 times. I just know. But it's like that tree house part of you.
Yeah.
And they're perfectly priced. They're like $2,000 where it's just like if it
It's
was
a
like
lot.
$150, if it was 500 or less, I'd have 3 of them if we're being honest. I'd have different colors for different seasons. But I
think that would be a best case scenario because you wouldn't have 3, you would have one that
I'd
got
have
used
one.
4
I
times.
know,
and
and
then
I
you're like,
never
wow, I
used
just
again.
saved $1,500.
like the one I want is the what's that?
Is it a Cascade?
No, it's the
vehicle tents?
The Polar. They don't sell it
makes it?
anymore.
They don't make them anymore. Yeah, Polar stuff.
Polar / Yakima did like a collab,
Oh.
and they did like this leaf camo that's so fucking sick. But it's
Wait,
$2,500.
camo? Like you're once again trying to hide
So,
from animals?
You're talking
No.
about a different one because the one that I'm familiar with
Yeah.
was $1,000.
It was 2,000 because otherwise I
Yeah.
would have bought it at
No,
1,000 or $900.
This was like the OG one.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah, so
audience
they
at
did
home.
they did a camo version of this
Wow.
with it was a collab, and it was $2,000, and they had it set up at the Polar shop in downtown Portland.
Yeah.
I
So
looked at
Bjorn-
it so many times, and I almost bought it. I was like, Bjorn, what the fuck are you?
Okay,
doing?
so I can
like-
relate to this because I do have a pickup
found it.
truck.
You
And
found
on-
it, Terry? Put it up on the
Okay, yeah,
screen.
bring
Put
it
it
up.
up on the screen.
Let's see it.
The
Good
camo
We
Polar.
got plenty of time.
Well, so I don't. This one's not Polar, but it's the Yakima one, and
It's the Yakima Polar.
$1,800.
Do it.
But I don't. It's
No, that's not it.
Oh.
That's not it. It's close because the Yakima one was $900, so I was looking at it for quite a while, and it's for like smaller cars for 2 people. God, I've looked at these so many times.
riddle me this: how many times have you gone camping in the last 4 years?
Exactly. I do the
This is
same
peak-
thing. I
peak
have a
treadmill
tent.
theory.
I have a
Yeah.
tent.
Sure.
And I have not used it. Here's where where I got this tent? I won this tent at my high school graduation. We did a lock-in. at the local athletic club, which had like a pool and stuff. We played poker. Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Not to
Oh,
interrupt.
that's-
not to
That's the
interrupt.
one right there.
Okay,
that
so
camo.
that thing's pretty big.
That thing's pretty sick.
Yeah.
It seats. It
Yeah.
seats. It sleeps 3 people.
That means
It's
it
just
sleeps
the
2.
fucking child
Yeah.
in me or something.
Okay, but here, whenever you've not gone camping, have you been like close and then been like, but I'd have to do this, this, and this? Like, what stopped you from going camping?
0 times.
Oh,
It's just
Zero
like
times,
okay.
yeah.
it's like I don't know. It's like I like having
like the
running
idea
water
of
and
it.
a toilet
Yeah.
and shit.
So
you know,
on
like
the-
Right, but
and this is
you
the other thing
just go for
too.
a
I will
night.
say this, and I know that we're kind of like dogpiling on you right now.
no, we're not. I'm gonna
Roasted.
be supportive here.
So with that shit though, the thing that always cracks me up about the rooftop ones is like every single time I've ever gone camping, how close do you think I camped to a place I could park my car? Not close.
Right.
Like I'm never like, the parking lot at Lost Lake is really beautiful this time of year.
Yeah,
We
right.
should go drive my car out there and camp on top of it. Like
I have this Instagram
Yeah.
like fantasy of like I still do really want to drive my I guess my car now to the in the dunes. I've never done it. Like get the sticker,
I kinda
get the
wanna
little
do that.
flag
you
for my
let me know when
bullshit.
that's gonna happen.
You know what?
I'm gonna come by on my
You
bike.
come with me.
Let's go drive
no,
on the
I'm not
beach
gonna be in the
first.
car.
You're not gonna.
Okay,
my car
let's-
is
not.
4-wheel drive.
Let's go drive on the beach first, because my truck is definitely 4-wheel drive, and
I think both of you
I can be
motherfuckers
fun.
are getting
super stuck. Well, you know,
no, I got fucking
here's-
crawl control, dude.
man,
It'll dig itself out.
my buddy Alan. Shout out to Alan Gerlach. He bought my
your Ranger.
old Ranger, and he sent me video of him out in the dunes in Oregon, just like ripping with like the big flag. And you know, it was the biggest relief of me. Just be like, you know what? Anything that goes wrong with that car, I have nothing to even because I was a little worried when I sold it to him that
then you're
some
like,
shit was gonna break.
Fucking
And then I was
cool
like, you know
again.
what? It's you. It's on you.
That's
I
awesome.
have no responsibility. No sweat off my
Okay.
back.
As a counter to Terry's point there about car
Mm-hmm.
camping, I love car camping. It's the best kind of camping.
Hold on. Define car camping. Camping
Truck
in your
camping?
car.
Like, actually, yes, now because I built the truck to camp in. But before that, no, like tent camping in a campground next to your car. Like, not back, as opposed to backpacking.
But this is what I'm saying is like I think that it's better to be in a tent on the ground by
Than on-
by your car.
I don't.
Then on your car?
I
don't-
built my truck to camp in it because I was
But
tired.
that's different.
I was tired of sleeping in a tent.
Uh-huh.
And I've now camped in it once, and it is 100% better.
And I think because I agree with you 100%. I helped
'Cause
Andrew build out the back of his
The
250.
fucking ground is flat and hard, as it is in a rooftop tent. Those fold out, and that is flat and hard. Way better than like whatever bullshit rocks. And
It's the
you have
child in
something
me.
hard around you, like above you, like a roof and walls.
Yeah.
You know, like if a bear comes, he's going to have like just a little more work to do.
Yeah.
Not as much of an issue here as it is in Montana.
I
People
feel like it's
genuinely get
cold.
eaten
It's
by bears
probably
occasionally.
colder up there, I would assume.
A
It's
little
gotta
bit.
be,
You do have
yeah.
air below you.
Because you've got air below you,
I don't
but
know.
it's
I
got
had
like
a
a
cot
big.
to sleep on in my tent because I hated just sleeping on a sleeping pad. I'm a fucking diva. Anyway, that's where we're getting to. Is I like
just-
car camping because I can have a big stove and I can like cook good food and just chill out and
Now,
drink
what I'm saying is
bush
that like
lights,
the
and it's
spots that
awesome.
I've camped at that have been really incredible,
Mm-hmm.
we park and then we hike like 50 yards or 100
Okay.
yards to like a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the scenic view, we have the fire, but like you can't see my car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because my car's not going up there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think that's where like it's unfortunate to me. Like if you were like, hey, I want to buy a $2,000 tent, I'd be like, tell me more. And if you're like, it has to be attached to my car, which I would imagine, because like for the listener who's just like,
I'm the Polar Super Fan, and I'm here to tell you that you don't have to put it on the car.
great.
You definitely have to put it on the car.
Do you? Like it's not an option to set up on the
100%.
ground?
It's a rooftop tent.
oh,
you-
fuck.
you
no,
can-
like you have
Yeah.
bolted it to the top
It's
of
like
the car.
bolted on. You can put it
Ugh.
on. Some people put it on like a trailer.
No, what they were designed
That's a
for,
thing.
Terry. I learned this
That
from
is
my friend.
ridiculous. Oh my god.
You know,
pull it, and then like you pull the ladder, and it like undoes it, and
Pops
it like
it up.
it pops it up for you.
oh,
'cause
if
it's
you're
like
putting that on a trailer,
half-
buy a camper.
God.
it's a
damn,
camp.
yeah.
It's like a camper
Yeah.
kind of.
No, it's for overlanding. And
I-
what it's actually for is they designed it for Africa. They designed it for places that had fucking predators,
yeah.
like lions and shit that will eat you at night.
Except all the companies are based in fucking Portland. If you're if you're
right.
if
but
you
they
look
designed
at
it for
it,
that. And then it turned into the thing for people who are into overlanding, and they needed like a solution to sleep
So-
on their truck, but they could still haul all the rest of their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where those came in.
And that's where like I appreciate that you don't have to pack it into the car. You don't like it does. There's benefits, but
and
I'm
it's
just
like
kind
a
of
tree
like.
house. It's like a tree house. It's like adults trying to tree house.
And I love because you've said that a couple times.
That's
and
the
I
best
agree
point
with
you've
you,
made so far.
But
that's
But here's my thing: is
that
like
made it sound way
I want
more
my
fun.
my car to be like a tree house.
That's the most fun. That made it sound so much fun. I was like, oh, I should have got one.
I should say I
When you
haven't gone
said
camping
that.
in quite a while. The last few times that I did go camping, though, a mainstay was taking hallucinogenic mushrooms. And
Yeah.
for me, I understand the appeal of being like, hey, it's a tree house. But I'm also kind of like, I don't want to have to climb a tree to go to sleep. Like, regardless of whether or not I'm on mushrooms, it's like, do I really want to be like, oh, I know what I like to do in the morning? Zip open that front door and then be very careful walking down a ladder so I don't get injured? Or do I want to just like walk out and greet the day? I'm not saying it's a bad product or it's a bad idea.
I want one, but I just feel like it's just outside of. I feel like most RV stuff is just outside of like what I'm comfortable paying for it. You know?
Well, I feel like here's what I feel like with
it's
camping.
all RV camping, all of it.
Right. The way I feel like is you have to have hobbies that are made better by camping. Because every
Okay.
time I go camping, it's to do something.
To do something
I camp,
else.
I camp in order to fish.
Right.
I camp so that I can wake up and be at the river.
there, yep.
So I don't have to
So
wake
it's
up
like-
fucking early somewhere else and drag my ass to Starbucks
Okay.
at 6 a.m. on a Saturday. Boo.
Yeah.
So
I want to
it's
just
like
be there and stumble out of my tent at 8 and
It's-
still be early. That's way
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
So I camp in order to fish and then camp in order to hunt. Like, I feel like camping, you have to have hobbies where you're like, okay, I'm going to go camp there so tomorrow morning I can hit it hard. I'm just fucking there. I don't have to like wake up extra early and all this shit.
It's like we went out to that like I don't know that off-road zone with our motorcycles at
Jones
one point.
Creek, yeah.
We went out there.
Oh, you went up to Jones Creek in
we
Washington?
did.
Oh, did I not tell you about me and Andrew getting way over our head?
No, but that's
It
where I
was-
go and shoot guns. It's a great place. Don't go there, everybody. It's terrible.
I got a
go to
better
shoot
spot
guns.
to shoot guns if you want to go
I
that
like
far.
that shooting spot, but yeah.
I've never
Is
been
it
in the shooting
closer?
spot. I only go out for OHV shit.
Riding.
But is your spot closer? than that?
It's better.
It's better.
So like, can you shoot like 300, 400, 500 yards?
You can shoot
Sorry,
as far as you
my
want.
bad.
Cool.
That's
Yeah, let's go.
This is a locals only spot. I can't
Fuck
leak
yeah,
it.
bro.
Locals
no, I'm
only
not
And
telling
spot.
you.
guess what? This is a spot where you go, you camp, like you shoot guns,
Oh.
and then you camp, and then you
Okay.
wake up the next day, you drive home,
that sounds fun.
and it's
Yeah.
within a 2-hour radius of the Portland metro area.
And
Oh,
how
that's
far do you camp from your car? Is what I want to know.
I've never actually camped there because I've always done it when I was like up at the mountain.
Oh, okay.
But you can drive down. There's like a campsite at the bottom of like a little ravine, and
I'd like to do more camping. I
Yeah.
have a tent. I have.
Let's go. Let's
I
go
have
shoot
a
guns
really
with
nice
Terry at his secret spot, and
in
we'll
the
camp.
winter.
we're not
and
doing that shit
winter
until like
camp.
June though.
Well, no, dude. Let's go.
No,
let's
it's
go camp
literally,
out at
it's
Trillium
snowed in. Like, you
right
can't
now.
get out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think I'll double check.
Well, that's a point for Jones
So
Creek.
I'm
Anyway,
gonna say there. Okay, I brought up an item that I've never bought. I've just put it in the
you
cart
already
a hell
have
of a lot of
treadmill
time.
theory with
I've
this.
already been like, I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
this like I've even done the math. Like, okay, how many Airbnb Aaron BBs.
Aaron BBs.
Yeah, Aaron BBs.
How many Aaron BBs, dude?
BBs do I need to go to
Yeah.
to justify this purchase? And it's still too many, and I still have not been going to those Aaron BBs
Yeah.
enough.
I think like for if I was in your shoes, I'd be like, I'd set a number. I'd be like, I have to go camping 10 times before I'm going to seriously entertain buying this.
Yes.
And
And
then I
I
would
was
l-
close. And
I
they
would
were on
literally make a
sale for a
list.
minute in a colorway that I liked.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say.
They
'cause-
had a Black Friday sale that I almost I also have to I have to say I also have to get the racks for my car.
Oh, yeah.
That are very specific.
I was going to say that's going to be another like
pretty
$400
expensive, and they have to be rated to this weight, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if
They
they're
probably
weighted.
have to be professionally installed too.
It sucks
Yeah.
because I have the tracks.
You gotta
but I
wait
don't
till you
have
get
the-
your truck,
I know. I gotta get a truck, and then it'll.
and then get one with
When
a
they
long
come
enough
out,
bed
we
and
double
build it out like
when
treadmilling
that.
right now.
when the Tacoma Prime comes out in like 5
Yeah,
years,
get the Tacoma Prime with the 6-foot bed,
with a 6
and then
foot
just build
bed.
it like mine, instead of getting the rooftop. Because here's the other thing: my
But
biggest
it's like
argument.
that's treehouse, Nick.
Right, here's my biggest argument against the treehouse. That's the best argument I've ever heard for it, by the way.
Thank you.
My biggest thing is it's a fucking cube on top of your truck.
Yeah, it's
Your gas
destroying
mileage
your gas mileage.
Is eating dicks if that thing's
You're
on top of
gonna
there.
you're gonna be single dig on that.
My truck with that, I guarantee the best you're seeing on the freeway is 15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah,
and that's
at
generous. That's
Like
generous.
60 miles an hour with a tailwind, you're still seeing 15.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I want to loop back to the sale thing because I think this is what gets people in trouble. Is like this happened to me very recently. I just bought a new jacket. I bought a Blazers jacket, right?
Yeah.
It's a Mitchell and Ness jacket. It's really cool. Everyone got them. They sold out, and I was like, oh, I didn't get one. And then they came back, and I was like, hey, everybody, they got them back in stock, but hey, I am not going to spend $140 on a jacket. I have so many jackets. And then they were like, they did the thing where it was like, hey, do you still want to buy that thing? Here's a 20% off coupon. I was like, fuck.
Yep.
And I was
Here
like,
we go.
no. I held tight. I didn't buy it. I was like, I don't need a jacket, especially one that costs that much. And then you know what happened? Pre-Black Friday sales started happening, and they were like, hey, 40% off. And I was like, fuck.
Done.
No, what put me over the edge was I hit up one of my homies, and I was like, the big homie Kevin, who hopefully we can get on the show soon. And I was like, yo, like, I know you got one. Tell me about the size. And he's like, oh, I bought a large, but he's like, I really should have an XL. And I was like, bro, how about I get the XL and I'll trade you for the large? And then it was a done deal. Now
Yeah.
it's sitting on my table. I hit up Kevin this weekend. I was like, yo, I got that jacket. He's like, I'm busy. I'm going to say this now. Like, if a month from now, like, one of you guys needs to ask me, like, hey, did you get that jacket off
Did
Kevin?
you get that jacket?
Because if I don't have it in, like, a month during the season, I'm going to feel like a fucking asshole. But, like, I totally, in addition to that, like, I bought a hardtail kit for my motorcycle because there was a 20% off sale. And I was like, well, I'm probably going to buy it at some point. I kept,
Right.
like, hemming and hawing on whether or not I was going to buy it. And then they're like, hey, what if we gave you some money off? And I'm like, yep, buy it now. Oh,
Yeah.
shipping's $100? Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah.
It's not a problem because I'm saving 20%, baby.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. No, the Dillon in where I grew up, Dillon,
Mhm.
Montana, there's a Patagonia outlet store
mm-hmm.
that has like big sales.
Yeah.
I have a lot of Patagonia jackets that I wear at most once a year.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh,
not
I mean, we
exaggerating.
worked in the snowboard industry.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, you guys
ridiculous.
probably had pro
There
deals
was like a
and shit, right?
moment that no,
Yeah.
there was some
Or did you just
pro
get free
deals. You mean given
Oh,
to
they
you?
just give it to you?
Yeah.
like
You know what the funny
so
thing is? All
many
the free shit that
jackets.
I've gotten,
Mhm.
and this extends to like us doing Boom Roasted on the show today.
Yeah.
I don't get free shit for like my accomplishments or like skill or like athletics. I get it for being an industry guy. When I
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
at camp, I got the most amount of free snowboarding shit because someone's like, "Hey, you're cool. I like hanging out with you. I'm just gonna send you hundreds of dollars of gear.
Yeah.
Like, hey, here's a
Yeah.
blank form. Fill it out. Get whatever you want." And I'm like, holy shit. Meanwhile, I know all these poor schmucks that are like, bro, if I can land this double backflip, maybe I'll get a sticker from the
Yeah,
rep. And
right.
I'm like, I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know, this brand new $800 jacket that I got. It's not really my style. I'm probably not going to wear it. And these like poor schmucks are just like, why does he get everything? I'm like, you fucking don't hate the player, hate the game.
It's wild.
I got a decent amount of free shit at the fly shops.
Fly
when
shop?
I worked there.
You're at the fly shop. Yeah, I mean, it was the same thing with the
It
snowboard
wasn't
industry.
quite
It
to
was
that
like-
level. They weren't just throwing gear at me,
Mm-hmm.
but they definitely would hook me up. Every now and then I get some free stuff, and I definitely got crazy pro deals.
I got to the point where like discounts were like it was like if you like what did I piss you off or something? Like, oh, you're gonna give me a pro form? Well, I can't just have it.
I can't just have it. Yeah. You're like, what did I do wrong?
I was like, I only need one.
Okay, so the one thing that I can think of in this treadmill theory thing, and it's
Yeah.
literally in the it's in the I bought last year. I bought the Bowflex, like the dumbbells that are like adjustable.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the pair of dumbbells that have all the extra weights. Or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So I bought that $200.
Mhm.
Hold on, didn't you have to like? Oh no, that was somebody else. Sorry, keep going,
No.
keep going.
So I got a bench for Christmas, which is kind of like a weird thing to get for Christmas. Last Christmas was weird with me and my ex. We were like buying stuff, but we were like broken up. It was super weird, super fucking weird. But we're like, we still spent Christmas together. It was the weirdest Christmas I've ever had, I think.
You're just describing like the end of a long-term relationship because like
it
there's
was.
so many things where you're just like, yeah, I guess that's strange. But
Like,
anyway, you got a
like
bench.
we still spent Christmas together, and like we bought each other. It was just like,
Yeah.
I guess we gotta, because we're gonna like live together for another month. I guess we'll buy each other shit and kind of hang out. And he got me like a workout bench because like I was kind of trying to work out at home, and then I bought the adjustable Bowflex things. I thought it was a pair of dumbbells. It was one dumbbell for $200.
Oh, damn.
And that is why I have never used it. It's because it's not a pair. It's a stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense. Because like I could do one and then I could do the other, but for some reason I need to.
You
I
gotta
don't
have
know.
both at the same time.
Yeah,
You're completely
I've
right.
never used them.
I think that's not the case. I think
What?
both at the same time is like it's like the Gaper Gap of Gaper Gap for those of you back home
Yeah.
who don't know what it
More
is.
snowboarding.
Yeah,
terms.
snowboarding shit. It's like when people have their beanie. This is the stupidest shit in the world. When people have a gap between their beanie or their hat and their goggles.
Their goggles.
So you
like-
see their forehead. That's like
Yeah.
a faux pas
The
in snow
gaper,
sports.
yeah, where the helmet and the goggles don't
Yeah.
just mesh.
I think like with weightlifting, like I think if you went into a gym and the first day you were like, all right, here we go, double dumbbells. I think that people would be like, what the fuck's up with this guy with 2 dumbbells?
I think there are different exercises where
yeah,
you do different things.
Yeah.
I
Like
disagree.
especially if you're doing like dumbbell presses, you need the 2 and you click them
Yeah.
together. You know.
Yes.
like to
I
make sure
did
your form is
actually
right.
have a gym membership, and I had specific workouts that I would do, and
Yeah.
I wanted to do those at home during COVID. And when I just had the one, I was like, "This is weird. It's throwing me off completely," and that was my excuse to not work out. Basically.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair. No, and I paid.
So I
like,
tried to return. I
paid a
tried.
trainer one time to teach me a bunch of exercises.
Really? And they
Like
hit
when
you
I
with
first-
dualies?
Yeah, he did the
Yeah.
2 on some exercises you only use one. On
Yeah.
some
I
you
mean,
use a kettlebell.
Yeah,
It
sometimes
was
you
all
do,
over,
like
but there were some that
skull
you use,
crushers.
like if you're doing curls, you do like
Well, so
both.
this is maybe a good time to, because we talked about it with treadmill, we're talking about it with weights.
Yeah.
Is this like maybe the best advice that we could give is like if you're trying to like work out or like exercise in some way,
Just start.
just do it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not like I know
Yeah.
with Jules is like, I need to go get a new pair of running shoes. I was like, no, you don't.
Nope.
Nope.
Just start running.
Put sneakers on, go run.
Yeah.
I was like, you're not going to run more than a mile. Like, let's be honest. And if you get 50 miles under your belt, go treat yourself with some new equipment. Then
Totally.
there you go.
That's
Well, that
pretty
was
good
that was
advice.
what my plan was, and then I did push-ups, and then I got this. I was doing push-ups every day, and then I got this dumbbells, and I literally stopped.
Yeah.
working out. Like, and I was doing like this boxing game on my Switch, which oddly, like, I was looking at like my play times, and my Switch had the most. My Switch boxing game had the most hours logged, which was insane to me because I was only playing it 10 minutes every day or 20 minutes a day or whatever. But I actually was logging quite a bit of time. I got over that. The game got more complicated with like other moves, and I couldn't get a perfect, and it was fucking pissing me off, and that's why
This
I
is
stopped
like the most
playing.
Bjorn thing you've ever said.
It
on
is.
the podcast.
It is. It's the most Bjorn. It was like they had like ducking and weaving, and like I'm doing the fucking move, and it's not registering on the thing,
This is
and
for
I couldn't
sure
do it
also
perfect.
been documented on some of the older episodes.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Like you can go back and find in the moment Bjorn talking about Nintendo
He's
Switch
like, yeah,
boxing
I've
to
been into
me.
this boxing game really lately, but
Actually trying to pitch it to me as an exercise regimen.
Probably.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I think
It's really
because
fun.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, just with myself and my health and like COVID and like food and all this shit, and I'm just like, I felt like shit after Thanksgiving because I've been like sedentary for the last who knows how long. Like I haven't been playing volleyball, I haven't really been skating, and I just felt bad. And I was like, dude, I literally need to just walk. I need to go walk around the block. I need to like get my steps
Walking
in.
is underrated.
Walking is like
Just going for like a couple
Dude.
2-3 mile walk every day is like amazing. for
beginning of Roni, I had a 5-mile loop that I would do with a dog. And it took me, like, I don't know, hour and a half, something like that. But I made phone calls. I talked to my friends, people
Totally.
I loved. I did like so much. And it was just like, granted, there was nothing going on.
Yeah.
But I had a blast, and I like could see my gains. I could like there's a staircase that I would go up that was like a lot of steps, like one of those Joker staircases,
Yeah.
And I remember the beginning, it was also creepy as fuck because I'd always do it at night, also stoned. So I would get up halfway, and I'm like, oh, what if somebody just starts running up the bottom of them right now? Like, what would I do? And I'm like, I don't want to.
If it's a long enough
Get Ronnie,
staircase,
kick 'em to
they'll
the
have a
face.
heart attack before they get up to where you were.
Or I would,
I've run up staircases. It's a bastard.
Yeah, shit sucks. Anyway, it's just like I know anytime that I'm like, gym membership, I'm like, no, just fucking go do stuff.
Right.
Like, ride my bike to work.
Yeah.
What a novel concept.
Right. Ride your
Like,
bike to work, park at the end of the fucking parking lot.
Yep.
I will say I did have a gym membership up until like a month before COVID when my gym went out of business because nobody went there. Which
Sounds
was my
like an
favorite.
awesome
It
gym.
was my favorite thing
Those are
about
the
it.
best
I
gyms
want to
have
be a
memberships
gym
to.
member at
That was
place.
from when I moved to Portland to then. So
Uh-huh.
like a year and a half or almost 2 years, I guess. I had that gym membership. And I did go like 2 to 3 days out of the week just because I knew I was paying for it.
Yeah.
And somehow that was enough where I was like,
That was motivation. You had fiscal
was-
motivation.
yeah, like I was paying for it, and I knew the stereotype of people who pay for a
Oh,
gym
yeah.
membership and never go. And I was
The
like,
New
I'm not going
Year's
to be that.
resolution
I'm
crowd.
not going to be that
Subsidizing it.
fucking guy. I'm not going to make progress, but I'm going to show up and do some shit.
Well, I think the other thing too, I say this a lot, is like the benefit of just raising your heart rate. Like I'm not talking about working out, getting buff, getting fast, running a 5K, charity or otherwise. I'm talking about like getting out and just like, all right, man, resting heart rate is like really high because I'm out of shape. I'm gonna get that up in like 110, 120.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to be sweating necessarily, but like just being active. And I don't need a piece of equipment to do that. I can walk out my front door.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah, and you know, I want to real quick before we get out of here. I do want to talk about, do you guys have things that you thought so you didn't think you were going to use it, but you used it a ton, like the opposite? Let's talk about the opposite of that really quick, because I have one that
Okay.
just like I
Go
always
ahead and
think of.
Say yours and
I
We'll
might have
gotta
even
think.
I might have even talked about it in another episode, but the thing that just always, I have this this fucking boot dryer that I got
you love the
for
boot dryer.
Christmas, and I've
Boot
used
dryers
it
are fire.
so much. It's ridiculous. I mean, not as much anymore because I don't like snowboard and ski and stuff, but like it's such, I like having dry shoes, dry boots. Like that was always, and that was a thing that I never would have expected to really like, and it's this fucking Pete boot dryer with a Savier sticker on it. I'm not even kidding.
I think, well, and you're also getting into a category that is always high treadmill energy, which is Alton Brown used to refer to kitchen tools that did this as unitaskers. Like you cannot use a boot dryer for any other purpose,
right.
at least without getting like incredibly creative. So it's like if you're not
Gloves.
Yeah, but I mean, you're blowing hot air into a confined space, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna like cook a egg sandwich on it.
No. No. Okay, that's another thing. Speaking of cooking an egg sandwich, I have a panini press that I use for hot dogs.
I feel like panini press is a big treadmill thing, but
I make grilled cheese all the time, and it's dope because it's got the grill marks. It's so good. It takes like 10 seconds. You plug it in and just press it for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or a minute, and then you've got like the best grilled cheese you've ever had. And then I make hot dogs on it. And it's like making them on the grill, but you don't have to fire up the grill and like replace the shit. Like you don't have to warm anything up. Like it's made me not use my grill because that would be one that I used for a while, but I hate cleaning it. I
have 2 Weber grills that I think I've used once each.
I feel like there's grill people and then there's people that like just have a grill and they like grill at a party once.
It's such a to do.
But
like,
I've just been surprised at how much I actually use my panini press. I use it for breakfast sandwiches sometimes. I'll like put an egg on some bread and I'm just like, oh, let's just like put it in the panini press for a minute, for like 30 seconds and put like nice grill marks and make it like a really dope sandwich, you know? I actually do use my panini press and my waffle maker. I use that a shit way more than I ever expected.
Waffle maker's another like big, like, yeah, we bought it. And like you want to start calculating the cost of like, because I looked into waffle maker, like I like waffles a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I gonna buy the fucking industrial waffle maker right now?
Right, the one that like.
And I never do because I don't need it.
Dude, have you tried this? You take cake mix and you put that in your waffle maker.
I have not.
Oh my god, it tastes like cake. And then you just put
it's cake.
And then you just put frosting on it. But it's just cooked differently. Oh my god, you can make waffles. It's waffle shaped cake, and I'm not a huge frosting guy. I just like the cake part, and it's like the cake pops from
Starbucks.
It
Starbucks.
sounds good. It
good.
Sounds pretty good.
My very quick kitchen ones.
Yeah.
Until someone gave me one, I was like, "You fucking air fryer dingbats!" Like, it's just a convection oven. Hello. And then somebody gave me one. And I was like, "It is a convection oven, a small one that takes no time to heat up."
Yeah.
I use it frequently. The other thing that I use is I have a camping stove, like a little propane
like a Coleman.
tank. I don't know who makes
like
it,
that.
but I use it all the time. Not necessarily for the reasons that you might think. It's because I have shitty electric range, and like I hate cooking on my electric range. Gas ranges are bad, whatever. But I worked in kitchens my entire life.
Cooking.
They're better for cooking. So when I make eggs, I take out my camping stove and I put it on.
Oh,
my counter.
really?
When I cook anything that needs high heat, like if I do a stir frying, I have a turkey fryer burner, and I do everything in the backyard. And I use those things. I used it for Thanksgiving for frying the tostones. Those are like my go-tos, and it's not because I think like they make things exceptionally better, but it's because they allow me to cook them the way that I want them to.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Nick, do you got good
the
sneaker
best one
picks?
that I can think of is a kitchen thing for me, and it's a thing I knew I would use a lot, but I didn't know how much of a difference it would make. A couple years ago, I bought a really nice chef's knife.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say that,
like a really fucking nice one.
Mm-hmm.
I think anyone who's doing any cooking in any capacity, you should have one good knife
and
a
good
sharpener
chef's knife.
and a sharpener.
Yeah, and the honing stick is what I use. But like, I have to take it with me because I know that wherever I go, my knife is better.
Yes. Oh, I do.
And
I
I
have a knife
need
roll.
my knife.
I started doing this last year. I've always had nice knives because I just cooked forever. And yes, I am a believer in like I don't need a drawer full of shitty knives.
Yeah.
And now when I travel, if I'm checking a bag on a plane, I bring my knife roll. I bring a cutting board. I bring like certain things because I'm like, yo, if we're going to an Airbnb, it's going to be like 12-year-old IKEA steak knives and a glass cutting board.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to want to cook straight up. Like I'm just not going to want to do it. We're going to eat out. So I feel you on that one. Bjorn, did you have another one you were going to say?
I mean, most of the cooking stuff that I have is just like I have a fucking mixer. I have a food processor.
Yeah.
I never use that shit
Oh, I use
ever.
that shit all the time.
I guess I have.
I
one
mean, I
other-
use it for cookies.
I have one other.
That's about all I
product
use for my
That's
my
more
mixer
of a
for.
hunting and a shoe product. My muck boots, which I've worn on an episode of this podcast. That is, I bought those specifically to walk across a marsh to go duck hunting and deer hunting back in Dillon. They are the most useful shoes. They're warm. They're comfortable. You can walk a decent ways in them, and they're waterproof up to your fucking knees.
Yeah.
Like it's
see
the
that.
best shit ever. They're
That's sick.
neoprene. They're like they're rubber here, but then they're neoprene all the way up, so they're very flexible.
I mean,
nice to walk in.
It's almost like-
insulated, so they're warm.
we're kind of talking
Fucking
about just
amazing.
like when you have the right tool for the right job. Sometimes.
Well, and it's like those are like $150 for a pair of rubber boots.
Right.
Most people are like, I want the cheap ones. They're $10. They're rubber boots.
I got the
Yeah.
Dunlaps. I got those
But-
Dunlaps.
when you like buying the nice muck boots, it was like, oh, you're gonna use them.
But yours
way
are like,
more.
yeah, yours are insulated. Mine
They're
are just like, I
insulated.
can feel all the temperatures
They're
that are happening,
flexible,
but they're not
they're
wet.
comfortable. You can genuinely kind of beat them up and
Yeah.
like actually walk places in them and stuff. They're pretty sweet.
They're a high value shoe.
Yeah.
The one that I have that's not cooking, and I used to look, when I first got them, I was on a meeting and I was like, I'm embarrassed because one of the questions was like, what's one of the greatest things you bought recently? And I was like, I'm embarrassed with how much this has improved my life. And I was the hater. Before I got them, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Is a cord too much for you? Do you guys want to guess what I bought?
Axe, a hatchet,
No.
A wireless charging thing for your phone.
oh, cord. God, why did my brain go cord of
To
wood?
axe,
You fucking
Montana boy
I'm
over here.
trying to.
No, my thing, I bought discounted Skull Candy
Oh,
true Bluetooth
Yeah,
headphones
yeah.
that are like the AirPod knockoffs. But then I found out that they have features that AirPods don't have. Like, I didn't know. Do y'all have AirPods?
I don't
No.
have AirPods. I have the ones you have.
Yeah, well,
the
you.
same ones you have.
Yeah, they're.
I think
still
I was
have
the
a
one that
cord.
turned you on to them.
I'm still a cord douche.
Yo,
I'm gonna get a pair of AirPods soon though.
I got a pair of these. I would recommend getting these because they also work with tile. So if you lose them, you can pull it up on your phone, and it's like beep 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 beep.
Oh,
beep, beep.
really?
Which I was like, yo, AirPods have to have that, right? Like it's a more expensive product, more premium product.
No.
And
They
my
don't.
friends were like, oh no, if you put them down somewhere and walk away, you just have to remember where you put them. And I was like, dude, I use the tile thing like
Oh, really?
multiple
Oh,
times
wow.
a week.
Mm.
But yeah, like phone calls, fucking everything. Like I have one in my head.
Yeah.
I would
All
say
the time. Yeah.
easily half the time that I'm not at work and sometimes when I'm at work. Like,
Yeah, those are. That made me think of something that I mean I'm a backpack guy. I have two of the High Cascade backpacks that I ran into the ground, and I have this Timbuktu. It's like sitting right over there. I love it. I spent like way too much on it, but I literally use it every day. It's like it like to me it's. I'm just a backpack guy. I keep like a bunch of random random. I don't know, like ibuprofen, and like I probably have a ankle brace in there from my skateboarding all the time days, like just like weird shit that like I don't have knives in there. Those have been taken at airports, but and headphones and weird just cords and dongles and the one I have it's all black. But it's got a bunch of like reflective stuff. It's like some like biker thing,
It's like
and
a
it's got
commuter thing,
it's got a wind fly or a rain fly, which I got addicted to from the High Cascade backpacks, where like it literally has a rain fly for when I walk in the rain. And in Portland, that makes so much sense. And
if
I
you're walking
literally
around Portland,
even
valuable
just
for sure.
going from my office to my car, I need a rain fly occasionally. It's got like a nice laptop sleeve that's separate from it's like on the side. It like zips from the side.
Okay.
It's got a bunch of little like, and they're all magnet hooks that
cool.
like, and like I'll attach things like occasionally. Like I don't know. One time I walked with a pair of sneakers here in like a reusable bag, and I just put the whole pair of sneakers, and then I just like magneted the thing on the side, and just like I don't know. It's a dope ass backpack. I use it. I knew I was gonna use it, but like I literally use it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I thought I was gonna. I tried like the briefcase thing because I was like, all right, Bjorn, you're gonna be an adult, and I was like, no,
Actual briefcase.
no,
You have, like,
a
a
shoulder
shoulder
bag, like
Messenger
Okay.
bag type
like a
thing.
Chrome situation.
I was gonna say
Mhm.
briefcases are for like young Republicans or like literal lawyers.
I felt like I would needed to do that because I'm like, I'm a business
Briefcase?
owner now.
Like leather briefcase.
I didn't do it.
Shoulder
That would
bag's
be
different.
hilarious.
Shoulder
I would
bag.
love to see Bjorn just showing up every day in a
When was
suit
the last
with a
time-
briefcase.
And this might be a hard one.
Never.
You ever seen somebody carrying a briefcase?
You're getting
Can you
absurd.
recall?
Like a genuine briefcase.
Not in a movie.
Briefcase.
That's
I
a
think
good
I've
call.
seen some like people show up where I work with a briefcase.
business.
But yeah,
folks.
like, and it was like people. I think it was probably like
I think it's just like it's
it
an
was like
antiquated
people
thing.
coming trying to sell
It
us
is.
something.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I was like an older
It's-
guy,
and it's
I
a
think
thing
everyone
done-
kind of saw it and was like,
It's a thing done like for business clout. But the problem is, it's 2021. So like, oh, what do you have in there? Your documents? Like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you not have a cloud?
Yeah, or a
Like,
phone.
Yeah. I think it can be a flex, but not if you're like.
I would assume it was full of
threadbare
cash.
salesperson who's just like,
Yeah, see, we got to get you onto the new technology. See, it's going to revitalize your life. See?
and you're like, what? Who are you? Did you just get out a time machine? Like,
Yeah.
Are you selling time machines?
yeah,
Uh,
a briefcase.
Uh,
I think I carried one as part of a Halloween costume once.
I think if you like, did you all ever have a kid in school who had a briefcase?
No, I
Ooh.
was homeschooled.
No, I don't think so. Not in
If you're like,
Montana.
yeah,
I
me,
was
I was homeschooled.
homeschooled and I knew it wasn't cool.
Yeah, you're
So,
like, yeah,
like-
those briefcase kids are fucking weirdos.
Yeah, look at these
the
fucking
weirdos
dorks.
with the yeah.
God.
Like,
What a
Oh.
nerd.
Well, speaking of time, we're running long again. Shout out to all this free content for the listeners. Can't believe
Extra.
it. Benevolence over here. Fellas, anything you want to throw in at the end before I rip us out of here?
no, but I might buy one of those rooftop tents.
Do
here.
it, bro.
Please don't.
Do it tonight.
Please do not.
It's
Treat
not gonna
yourself,
be-
dude. It's awesome.
I got to get a house first. I feel like house first, then the rooftop tent is second.
Nah, just get the rooftop
I think
tent
you
and
should
live in
camp
that.
10 times. That's my challenge.
I
to you.
need to. That's a really good idea because I do have a tent and sleeping bags and all of that. I could go
Yeah,
camping,
you should.
and I haven't
because
camped.
it's not the tent that you want to buy. It's going camping.
I
That's
can
true.
tell you some places to go camp.
I want to go to the big crater. That's a lake.
Oh, Crater
heard.
Lake.
I've heard.
I've heard
It's
about that.
5 hours away, which is too. It's just too far. That's
Well, and according to my mother, the hotels over there are dog shit, so you might be doing some camping. Yeah,
I flew over it and I thought it looked pretty, and I want to go there.
we'll report back on Bjorn's tent inventory. But that's going to do it for our off-topic episode today here at the Size 10 podcast. We got full episodes that are dropping on Wednesdays, and these shows come out on Friday. If you want to stay in touch with us, if you want to get all of these episodes as they come out, subscribe on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you may be listening to podcasts. You can also follow us on social, on Instagram and Twitter, at Size 10 Podcast. And finally, we didn't mention it on the show, but if you like hearing the boys talk, come on out to Guest Spot at the Funhouse Lounge in Portland, Oregon, down there in Southeast. That's going to be every Thursday at 10 p.m. It's $5 to get in. Bring your Vax card. I will be checking at the door. But we're going to have 10 of Portland's top top amateur comedians. Is that a fair way to put it?
I would say just top comedians.
top
comedians.
comedians?
We get some
Yeah.
professionals
we
here
get
and
some
there.
professionals.
That's true. So yeah, come on out. It's a good time. And I said this a while ago. If what are we calling our listeners? Tenors?
tenors.
Tenors.
Yeah.
If a tenor comes out, and if you identify yourself to me, Terry, the guy with braids probably at the show,
Yep.
I will buy you one screwdriver from the bar. I will
Ooh.
buy you a screwdriver.
Ooh.
You must be 21 or older to be eligible.
To be there.
Yeah.
Also, so
Uh,
it's fine.
But yeah, if you're like, hey, I listen to the show, I'm a tenor. That's the magic
Yeah.
phrase that pays. You will get a screwdriver if they have orange juice at the Funhouse Lounge on Thursday
Yeah.
night, 10 o'clock.
All right. Thank you.
Take it easy, y'all.
Bye.